up, everybody? Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Overwatch video. And in this video, we're gonna talk about pro players talking about 5v5 and the potential pluses and minuses of the mode and the healer nerf in Overwatch 2. We got developers commenting on it, so we're gonna break it all down. But make sure you go check out that GameLeap website to support our channel alive and well. And if you want to improve, we got everything you possibly need, so go check it out right now down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, the first thing that we do gotta talk about is Jake talking about 5v5. Most of you know him, all-star commentator, player. Yeah, he pretty much does it all in Overwatch, and he wanted to share his thoughts. So let's read what he has to say, and then we're gonna also chime in, and then I'm gonna pass the question on to y'all as usual. So he says this, quote, Overwatch 2 thoughts, 5v5 is a massive change. Every player is individually more important. In Overwatch 1, tanks are the most important role because they control the nature of team fights. After 5+ years, there were only 3 fundamental strategies: dive, rush, and poke. Every comp exists somewhere between those extremes. Dive comps fight on the flanks to surround the enemy. Rush comps use abilities to close gaps quickly and dominate close-range fights. Poke comps use massive spam/pick potential and kill opponents before they are close. Many comps are between extremes. X, Ball, Sigma, Zen comps are a mix of dive and poke, while Winston, Lucio, Moira comps are a mix of dive and rush. But at the end of the day, I feel every strategy come down to these 3 core ideas. Some just make use of 2 of them instead of just 1. His hope is that competitive Overwatch 2 can reduce the importance of hero picks, as Space Overwatch put it, making tanks much more tanky DPS. Just as a little tangent, that's what Space really talked about when he talked about the new tanks in Overwatch 2, that they felt like fat DPS. They felt much more DPS-like than old tanks. Going back to what Jake had to say, quote, as much as I love engineering a perfect strategy in Overwatch 1, I think the game in that state cannot grow long-term. The game becomes a test of who has the best understanding of comp matchups, map features, etc. While this rewards endless dedication to understanding the game, it is too brutal a punishment for new players, especially those skilled at other FPS who expect to do well. Now, this is a really important point, and I actually really like someone talking positively about Overwatch 2, because a lot of the negativity about 5v5 is interesting. I understand a lot of the points, but this is a really true point as well. It feels like Overwatch is a game where you have to just study it. You have to put in, I don't know. At this point, I probably put in 5,000+ hours studying the game, and many people are not gonna put that much time into it. How is someone supposed to pick up the game and understand the different intricacies in matchups, understanding what team comp is best in what situation, on what maps? I mean, there's just so many different engagements and matchups, and a lot is very, very difficult for any new player to ever understand. And for that, I understand, but at the same time, you do get rewarded for that much game knowledge, and really, it's really a difference in philosophy, right? 5v5 pushes the game far closer to other FPS, where mechanical skill takes a much bigger forefront. It's a lot easier with people with other mechanical skills from other games to come over to Overwatch and perform, unlike MOBAs, which are very knowledge-based, and you have to pretty much dedicate to that one thing, and your skills aren't transferring over. Overwatch is a little bit more in that direction right now in Overwatch 1, but Overwatch 2 is trying to push it more in the mechanical FPS direction rather than its MOBA direction, because right now it's kind of trying to teeter-tot between. And I think in general, some people are gonna like it the old way and some people are gonna like it the new way. I think that there have been times where the game has been far too much in the MOBA direction. We've had GOATs and we've had double shield spam compositions, and I think that in general, those aren't the greatest thing for the game to make the game feel like a first-person MOBA. But also, I'm not really as optimistic as Jake in some regards, and I might think that it might lose what makes it special, and I think that there was a happy medium that we found that was just fine. Like, honestly, the old strategy, sure, we had 3, the dive, the rush, and the poke, but I think that with a little bit better balance direction, we could have been perfectly happy. I mean, we were in dive meta for a very long time, and I think the game was in a good state for most of that. And another part of this is, while yes, this is going to benefit people who haven't put in that much time and effort into learning Overwatch itself, it does punish people who have spent hours and hours and hours trying to learn everything about Overwatch. So I really want to pass the question on to you. Do you agree with everything he says here? Are you optimistic about Overwatch 2? Or are you a little bit worried that Overwatch 2 is going to lose the identity, the MOBA roots that made Overwatch 1 so special? I want to know your opinion about all that and why down below. Also, of course, I didn't cover everything that Jake said because it was a really long thread, so if you want to go check it out, you can definitely go check that out as well. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the healer nerf, because this is a big controversial point, and the healer nerf, for those of you who don't know, if you took damage in combat for a certain amount of time, you would receive less healing from your healers. And while this, yeah, seemed like a downside to the person that took the damage, in reality, this was the downside to the healers. Healers just had less impact. It was basically a healer nerf across the board, and Jeff Goodman actually commented on this, and he said, quote, "Overwatch healer nerf is unlikely to make it through to live game as it is now." Now, it's important that he says as it is now. That doesn't necessarily mean that we will not see it in the live game. What this does mean is that its current state is going to be changed. So while maybe it will get deleted, and that would probably be fine, they might do something similar, but not like this. And that makes me kind of interested in how they would do that. Like some sort of other benefit or penalty to taking damage or not taking damage in a fight. I'm trying to think of what that would be, and I'm not a developer, so I have no freaking idea, but I definitely want to know what you think would be a good idea or a bad idea. What kind of gameplay would it promote, different mechanics? If you have any suggestions, I really want to know that down below. We can kind of brainstorm a few things, but go to the GameLeap website down below for in-depth advanced tips, tricks, VOD reviews. We got it all. You got to go check it out, but thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love y'all faces, and I'll see you next time.